What's up, y'all? As you can tell, we've been getting a little bit of snow, and that's perfect weather because we're going to be taking a look at a hammock hot tent. We noticed that during the Black Friday and the Cyber Monday that OneTigris was having some pretty good deals on some of their items. So we went ahead and picked up this hot tent, and this one's called their Ash. I just got it in. I haven't opened it up yet. So we're going to open it up, look at the contents of it, and go ahead and set this thing up. It's made out of a 70D sil nylon. Seems like we got some stakes and a bunch of guy lines. Should be our poles. And then we have the main body of the tent. It does come with a pretty good pile of stakes. We have a bunch of guy lines here. And then this looks like this should be our tree straps. So we just wrap these tree straps around like you would a hammock strap. So on this end, it's got a carabiner. I got my tree straps hung up. I did find the end. It does have some zipper doors here. So here's one of my peaks. So that carabiner just kind of clicks in, and on both sides we can just kind of pull and tension this thing up. Right, so it does come with a couple sections so that we could set up 2 tarp poles. That way, if we don't have any trees, we can still set up the tent. And then it also comes with this one big aluminum pole here, and that will get set up in the very center section. This is a pretty long pole. But this really should help open up the center of this tent quite a bit. There we go. That was a little bit of a struggle. So it does give a pretty good little dome to it there. We're just going to kind of temporarily set those in place. So even though I hung it up in the tree, I went ahead and put the poles on each side too, just to kind of get the full extent of how tall it's going to be and open up this side. Just have 1, 2, and 3 points on each side stake down. There's another 1, 2, 3, and 4 guy lines areas right there. Then here on this center loop and pole, there's like a dual guy line here that we can always stake out, give a little extra support. And then it's got that snow skirt that goes all the way around it as well. Since this is hammock compatible, it's got a zipper, 1, 2 zippers, and it's got a 3rd zipper then down here at the bottom. So that way you can open up the door, and then you can adjust these other 2 for the hammock to go through. I'll attach some more guy lines and pull it out, but let's take a look at the space we have in there before we do. Zipper, then it's also got a little clip there at the bottom. Well, we got quite a bit of space in here, y'all. Definitely hooking up these extra guy lines out here, we can pull out a little bit more space all the way around. But there's definitely enough room that we can set up a couple cots, have our wood stove here, and definitely be able to hang up a hammock in here in the middle too. This is pretty cool. Pretty big space in here. You want to come in here and hang out next to the fire if I get one started, buddy? Things seam sealed, ripstop, sil nylon. Hey buddy, All right, so I have my guy lines pulled out here. I went ahead and threw a little bit of snow down along the bottom, along the edges here a little bit. Then I'm going to go ahead and open up this stove flap. A little zipper, I guess, on both sides. A little Velcro snap. That looks like that. Can roll up and toggle shut. And then this flap here, I reckon that just kind of gets held up by the stovepipe when it comes out. So just a two-way little slit in there for the stovepipe. After getting it set up, there's more than enough guy lines and there's more than enough stakes to get everything staked out. I have a couple more guy lines that I could definitely put down and stake it out a little bit more. We're not really looking at any high winds or anything, so I think that we'll be just fine the way it is. It's really cool that they added the extra poles, these big tarp poles here to set it up as well, so that if you're not hammock camping or you're nowhere close to trees, you can still set this tent up. Pretty stoked at the same time that this is a hammock tent. I've been wanting to get back out and do some more hammock camping. And the other item I just ordered from OneTigris is a underquilt, so I'm waiting for that to come. Mesh windows. It is just mesh here in the top on both sides so that there is a constant airflow from a vent from outside, which you definitely need, especially in a single wall tent, and then for a hot tent as well. Need a little air circulation. I don't think there's any use of shoveling out the snow. Once it warms up, it's going to melt anyway. See what kind of space we got in here with the cot. This gives plenty of room back here. Can easily get another cot in here. Alright y'all, so I'm definitely starting to run out of daylight these short days. I'm going to try to make myself a little bit more comfortable in here, so I'm going to be using the Atepa UFO 3.0 chair. Tonight I'm going to be enjoying a 16-point IPA from Devil's Backbone Brewery. Go ahead and get started on this early. Cheers, y'all. So I brought the thermometer. It was reading 36 outside, 2 degrees warmer in here at 38. All right. I think I got enough paper and kindling in there. Flue's open. My vent's open. Let's get this thing started. Let me take a look at the time. I'll watch the time and I'll watch the thermometer and see how quick it warms up. Okay, it's 5:36 right now. It's pretty much completely dark. Still holding 38 degrees in here. Definitely starting to feel some heat coming off of here already. Just got a little bit of pine for kindling. Got some small oak pieces, so I'm going to go ahead and try to get them on and get them burning a little bit. It'll give me a lot more coals than the pine will. Nice. So y'all, this is the King Camp Surefire stove, and it is their large size. It does sit low to the ground, but you can get, I'd say, at least a 15-inch piece of wood in there, so that's not too bad. Definitely awesome. It's got viewing windows on both sides. The tent actually feels pretty good, but that stove jack has definitely got some heat built up on it. Everything else feels all right. It seems like it's pulled out far enough, but it's warming up in here quick. I'm going to have to shed of a layer for real. We're already 45 degrees. Let me look at the time again. All right, it's 5:48. It's going to be so warm in here in no time at all, y'all. This is toasty. Like I say, if this stove can keep that big tent warm, we got way less space. Just about 20 minutes after I started the fire, I put it back here in the back corner, the opposite corner of the fire, and we're looking 55 degrees. That raised up pretty freaking quick. And I actually have the window cracked open a little bit over on that side. So we're not even totally sealed off. Pretty stoked so far. I'm glad that we found a good deal on this. So the only thing that we had was a tactical dog harness. That was the only thing from OneTigris. I've been wanting to check out some of their gear. I'm pleased with this tent. And then I got an underquilt for the hammock coming, so we're going to test this out. Sleeping in the cot tonight. I'm going to be setting this up, and I'll probably do another video for tomorrow night. I'm going to set the hammock up in here. Use the underquilt. I dig it. I'm going to be using this tent a lot. I know it. I can already tell. I love hammock camping. I've been really wanting to get back in my hammock, and that's one of the reasons why I just got an underquilt. If their underquilt is as good as this tent and I have the same first impressions, very big thumbs up to OneTigris. Let me go ahead and get my bed system set up. So I'm going to be using the Unigear Campy P3. I've had this air mattress for a while. This thing is sturdy. It works great. It's got an R2 value. And I'm going to be mixing that with the foam mattress. It's also got an R value of 2. That will give me a combined value of 4 on that one. Then on top of that, I'm going to be putting the Atepa. That's a 3-in-1 system, so I'm just using the bottom sheet. And that's kind of basically holding both of these air mattresses together. And then I got a little bit of extra insulation value with this undersheet, this fitted sheet underneath. So then I'm going to be able to hook up my pillow, strap that around here as well. And then I got a North Face 20-degree bag that I'm going to be using on top of that. That should keep me plenty warm for the evening. King Camp Hypnos pillow. At this point, this is my most favorite camping pillow I've used yet. Alright y'all, so what I have here is a little bit of some homemade gumbo. My wife made up some really amazing good tasting gumbo here. So we got some rice, we got sausage, all the goodies. I'm just going to set it up over top of here, warm it up just a little bit. I definitely had to come out of another layer. I think it's 62 right now, and that is with the thermometer on the opposite end of the wood stove. We got it kicking in here. This is comfy. I've wondered for a while what it would be like to hang out in one of these hot tents. I have a wood stove inside of it. Now that I've actually had the opportunity to do so, it is freaking awesome. Yeah, once again, I am totally stuffed. That was a delicious meal. I'm going to start off warm. I'm not going to zip up my bag. But once that fire starts to kick down just a little bit, starts to die out, I'm definitely going to want to zip this up. So I think I'm going to say goodnight. I don't think there's going to be anything eventful tonight before morning, so good night. All right, let's get some light turned on here. All right. Good morning, y'all. We're sitting at, what is that, 36 degrees. It was just saying 34 as our low. 34, 36, that's not too bad. It's just chilly enough. Get some layers on here. I slept really good, so when I crawled into bed, it was probably getting about 9:30 or so. Got the fire really stoked up. We were holding about 66 degrees in here. I mean, it was definitely warm enough that when I crawled in my sleeping bag, I just kind of had it zipped down to my feet, left it all wide open. I was sound asleep by 10 for sure, and I slept solid to about 2 o'clock in the morning. And I woke up at that point. The fire was out. Degree sleeping bag in the mid 30s, you know, 34 is the low. It worked out really good. But I am not having any luck with air mattresses. Now, I haven't used this Unigear Comfy P3 for a little while, but this has been kind of like my go-to air mattress, and it's done really well. But it totally went flat on me in the middle of the night. I'm glad that I had that closed cell phone mattress underneath. It was definitely reflecting the heat back towards me, but I could really tell when the air mattress went flat. I definitely wasn't getting as much insulation from underneath me. I don't know what's up with that. I'm hoping maybe it was just a valve came loose, because it has been a rock solid air mattress for me. So we'll have to see about that. I don't know what's up with my luck with air mattresses. Let's go ahead and get this on here. This thing takes off, at least we'll have some heat. And we'll have some hot coffee. New coffee filter here as well. It's one of these collapsible ones, but it's got some mesh on the bottom. So that way I don't need to use a paper filter, and I can still enjoy some real brewed coffee. Alright, that really didn't take long to heat up in here, y'all. It's 42 degrees in here already, and it hasn't even been 20 minutes of getting this fire going. That is excellent. There's one thing I'd have to say about this little bit smaller compact tent. Heats up real fast. And that's excellent. I'm glad I had just enough wood left to get it started up here quick. Definitely, to sum up the evening, you know, this tent just rocks. I absolutely love it. I was looking at a different model. This is the OneTigris Ash hammock canopy hot tent. So I was looking at a different one at first, but the sale kind of ended on that one, and then this one was a really excellent price, so we definitely went ahead and pulled the trigger on it and picked it up. I'm very happy with this. So I slept really good. I didn't get covered up with in my sleeping bag. Like I say, I was fast asleep by 10 o'clock. It was probably somewhere around 2 o'clock when I woke up, and then covered myself up with the sleeping bag and kind of zipped in a little bit more. I was really comfy. It wasn't until really very early this morning, you know, getting about 5 o'clock, that I really noticed that my air mat had went completely flat, and I was still starting to feel a little coolness from underneath. But it's about that time of day that I wake up anyway, and up and ready to go. Very comfortable. I really enjoy it. So stay tuned. We'll set up the hammock in here and do another night of camping. I'll probably leave the cot in here as well. That way we can see what it's like for room, if that would work, being able to have a cot and a hammock in here and still have more than one person. Thanks for joining me today, y'all. I really appreciate it. And stay tuned. Laters, y'all.